Every 95 seconds, 23 people die from hunger, most of which live in desolate areas where food is scarce. But what if there was a way to simplify farming? In a relatively small area that would feed a family of 4, or provide food for the public on a massive scale, which could potentially create jobs and stimulate economic growth.
What you're going to witness today, this morning, is a new gardening concept. A lot of the technology is nothing difficult, but people in general, they hadn't thought about it, and I just happened to think about it.
Dr. Prince Pryor Jr. has created a simple, innovative solution to smart farming. Dr. Pryor received a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Education from Alabama A&M University, a Master of Education degree from the Tuskegee Institute, and a Doctor of Philosophy degree from Iowa State University. However, it was his work as the first black person to be elected to the Madison County, Alabama Commission seat, District 6, that gave him a strong conviction to combat hunger in his community.
When I was first elected to the Madison County Commission, I was the first African American to hold that position in the history of the county. And people really, a lot of people, especially my people, didn't know really what a county commissioner did. But I would get sometime 1 or 2 telephone calls a month. We are out of food. We don't have any food to eat. Can you get us something? They thought I was going to go buy them some hamburgers and things. But instead, I would go and buy them some pinto beans and black-eyed peas and some meal and give it to them. Now, whether they cooked it and ate it, I don't know. But that's what I provided them, because that's what I could afford. Well, that continued, and I looked, I said, I can't afford this. So I came up with the idea of let's mass grow some food. Let's look at this board here. I use a 4 feet by 8 feet plot that I plant in. In that 4 by 8, I can provide 2 of them. That's what I'm recommending. I'm recommending 2 of these 4 by 8s, and a family of 4 can grow all the vegetables they need or will want on this 4 by 8 plot. And what we're doing, if you notice, a lot of circles with a lot of writing and a lot of things on it. Everywhere there's a circle is designed for a plant. Now that's one of the keys. That's one of the keys to my success. My plants are in rows that's 8 inches. 8 inches now wide, and the plants are planted, depending on what kind of plant it is, they are 8 inches apart. Contrast that with today and yesterday. We had long rows, the plants spaced a foot, 2 feet apart, all of that. And that just created wood for you, because grass grew in between them plants. When you get a rainy season like we had this spring and this summer, the grass will eat your lunch. It will deny you your lunch, because it will take over and choke out your vegetables. So what I've done, and that's why I went to this, by planting those plants 8 inches apart in 8-inch rows, they get ahead of the grass and shade it out. It's just that simple. It's that simple. Planting your plants close enough together that it's shade and the grass and weeds can't grow. So that's a major component of what and how I'm doing.
Dr. Pryor pioneered the development of the community fields located on the campus of Alabama A&M University. From its beginning 25 years ago, the community fields have fed tens of thousands of families in Madison County, Alabama.
In America, we got a food crisis because if it's not in a can, we don't eat it. So what I'm working on is getting people back to eating really the food they need to eat. Because most in growing vegetables and growing a garden, most of the plants that you grow, they come from a seed. There are few that you plant that a iced potato, a sweet potato, and a few others. You plant that potato and it produces more potatoes. But the others, they are produced from a seed that germinates and grow a plant that produces what you pick and eat. And then at a stage in that growing cycle, the plant is a clock that tells that plant it's time to stop growing and feeding folks and reproduce yourself. And then that's when you see in your garden it quit growing and it shoots up and it blooms out, pretty yellow bloom most of the time. That's the starting of the producing of that seed. Most folks, they're killing themselves. You know, 1 out of 10 people in America today have contracted diabetes, and it's because a lot of it is because of what they eat. And that's what I'm working on. So you ask me how I'm gonna get people to do that, to eat right. I started with kindergartners. See, folks my age and maybe your age, you're already fixed in your mind what you gonna eat, what you like and don't like, and you're gonna keep doing it. But I'm starting with them 5-year-olds, and I'm teaching them how to grow their own food. This is what it will look like after that plant. After we plant the plant, and it comes up and it grows. Now all we gotta do is take it, put that in the ground, and you got a color plate. I use very few tools, very primitive tools. I have a little 3-prong, and it's on a little handle back like that I use. But if you follow that technique that I gave you of keeping the grass from growing, you don't need any tools. You don't need it, because once you plant it in an environment that I'm planted in, you don't need them. I don't chop in them to just, you know, people used to use a hoe to cut and chop in it. I don't use that. I plant, and if I see a sprig of grass, I'll pull it out, and that's it. And I'm gonna bring up a new generation. I'm not gonna worry too much about those of us who are already fixed in my mind or in their minds that this won't work, I don't like that. Those kindergartners, they like everything I teach them. So that's where I'm starting. You see how it's locked together? Okay? Let's see. Tab down. Hold them down and lock them together. Let's see. Some of this. After we get that cup made, I'm going to give each group one seed. You don't need but one seed to produce those kindergartners. What you show them, they'll do it. I had a group to sow a 4x8 bed of mixed turnips, mustard, and all of the greens like that. And they sowed and planted those seeds. they top, and I also cooperate with Alabama A&M, and they got some sophisticated plant and equipment that operates with a tractor. Those children, and it was the first time most of them had seen a seed, but they beat that piece of equipment sowing them seeds. Now, this pole here, this metal pole, is what holds this frame together. It's one here, one in the middle, one on the end, and then that one across the top, where when they reach the top, they'll fold back and run back to the ground. What you're looking at here is that same 4x8 plotted. It's 8 feet long and it's 4 feet wide. And I have 2 rows on that line and I got 2 here. So I got 4 rows of peas in that frame. Well, I piggyback on it. Set my tomatoes at the end of it and just keep tying them and keep them, and they'll run up to the top of this pole. Tomatoes. Using your facilities for more than one use.